Kazam's a 1996 family comedy starring Sinbad. Oh wait, that's Shazam. Oh wait, that movie doesn't exist. Kazam's a 1996 family comedy directed by Paul M. Glaser and starring Shaquille O'Neal. So naturally this genie movie opens up in New York City. A condemned building is being demolished by the world's slowest wrecking ball. Inside the building is a genie who has sleep apnea. All this commotion breaks the lamp. I wonder how many kids saw this opening and were completely confused. It's primarily targeted at 8-year-olds. If they haven't seen Aladdin, would they have any idea what was going on? Anyway, at the local high school, Max is on his way to class. Nothing screams 90s quite like Coolio. Looks like his teacher is Medea.
Oh, Lord.
I already don't like this kid. Some bullies torment Max in the boys' room. Why is this kid wearing an Afghan shirt? Max tells the bullies where they can find a stash of stolen merch. Will somebody get this poor kid some braces? Max gives the kids a key that'll get them the items. Why are they believing him? Oh right, kids movie. Since Max is a dingus, he gets detention. He gets home late to a mildly upset mother. Max's mom is talking to him when in walks her boyfriend Travis.
Max, you ever hear of a guy named Buster Keaton?
Nothing kids love more than old black and white movies. Alice and Travis tell Max they're getting engaged. Max is the kind of kid where everything is about him, isn't it?
Wait, what about me?
Just buy him a PlayStation and this'll all blow over. Max angry rides through New York when the bullies find him. They're mad because they give him a key to a locker that doesn't exist.
But there's only one place. This thing's gonna fit. And it ain't Mrs. Duke's supply closet.
Well, at least it's a small key. Max jumps through the conveniently placed hole in the fence and gets away. The kids chase him into the condemned building. Oh no, police tape! Surely that'll keep out squatters. Max runs to the top floor and falls to his death. Okay, despite falling down at least 30 feet, he's fine. A little dusty, but fine. He goes to hide and accidentally kicks a boombox. The boombox starts to play some vintage meme magic. The bullies find Max and Kazaam ejects from the box to deliver some Pepsi product placement. Here he is, in all his glory, Kazaam, the rappin' genie.
Watch it, boy! You don't want to diss me, or I'll dish out my misery.
Although technically, isn't this more along the lines of toasts?
If you want to be number one, I'm sorry, boy, that's been done. But if you got the itches for a sack of riches, don't matter how avaricious, I'm the man that could grant your wishes.
Oh, what I wouldn't give for Genie Dolomite! So it seems the bottle broke in the beginning, and Kazaam was moved to the boombox? That makes about as much sense as, well, a rapping genie. Kazaam drops the reverb and tells Max to give him 3 wishes. Max smartly gets the hell out of there. Kazaam explains the extent of his powers.
Besides, I don't do those kind of wishes. I do material wishes, see? Things, stuff.
He convinces Max to give him a wish, but his powers are rusty and he can't do it right now. It looks like he has enchantment dysfunction. Max leaves and runs into the bullies again. That night, Max tries to explain to his mother why a 12-year-old needs a proctologist. Travis tries to talk to Max, but he'd rather listen to Linkin Park. The next day, Max is all alone, so he raids the refrigerator. Okay, we got OJ, purple stuff, soda, Sunny D. Yeah, go for it! Max finds his parents' divorce papers, which gives an address for his father, who abandoned him 10 years ago. Now that he has his address, he decides to track him down. Meanwhile, Kazaam is stalking him. Max sneaks into a studio and finds his father, who, not surprisingly, doesn't recognize him. Max is sad he clammed up and heads to his secret revenge bunker. Kazaam's still trying to get Max to use his 3 wishes. What exactly did he think this was going to accomplish?
You assist!
Hey!
Sure, drive your bike into the giant. Kazaam then chases him around the room on his magical genie bike.
Make your 3 wishes!
I wish you go away!
He just gave a legitimate wish. Why isn't Kazaam going away? So for some reason, Kazaam now has his magic back. Now with all his powers back, Kazaam is rapping again. Max wishes for the dumbest thing.
Then I wish I had junk food from here to the sky.
No.
So it starts raining junk food. Well, I guess if you're 12, this is great. If this place isn't infested by rats and roaches, it is now. Max wishes for his parents to get back together, and Kazaam reminds him that he can't do that sort of wish. Max then, hey scriptwriters, maybe you should have reworded this line.
Until I make those last 2 wishes, I own you, don't I?
Oof! The duo are walking down the street when, Max just hit puberty. Max runs away and, oh no. They head back to the studio and Max looks for his dad. In Nick's office,
Ladies and gentlemen,
ladies and gentlemen, a novelty act that'll be forgotten before this movie hits theaters. Max tells Nick who he is.
Okay, Maxwell.
Connor.
Maxwell Connor.
Alright then, get him out of here! Okay, so he's excited at the reveal and shows him around. Max's deadbeat dad is super cool, and he can't understand why his mom is so lame. Max drops the bomb that he knows his mom lied about his dad, which now of course absolves him of all wrongdoings. Kazaam tries to cheer him up, but Max isn't interested because he has tickets to the Brat concert.
Woo! Party people!
You wanna redo that line?
Party people!
No? Just gonna leave it in? Off key and everything?
Party people!
Alright. Nick's assistant Asia gives the duo a great spot at the show. Love this lady's expression. The girls notice Kazaam, so it's time for him to start rapping. He then unleashes a light show that gives the audience third-degree burns. This all attracts the attention of the evil Mr. Malik. The rap goes on for a little bit and ends on kind of a dull note.
And if you girls are hungry, let's green egg and ham it.
Really? Kazaam is the sweatiest genie ever. That includes Robin Williams. I think you're gonna need a few more towels. Max finds his dad roughing up a guy who refuses to pirate their own material.
The last one of these tapes was worth $1 million to
Yeah, because piracy's a felony, Nick. I don't want to be involved.
So they sell the album and also leak the album to make money with piracy. And now here's footage of the bootlegging, already in progress. Max learns a valuable lesson, that his dad sucks. Your mom and Travis aren't so bad now, are they, kid? Nick goes to see Mr. Malik. Malik's happy they're bootlegging the concert, but also wants to know about Kazaam. The bullies see Max, and he tries to impress them by being stupid.
I'm doing a live recording with $1 million. They're taping it right now. Man, if I wanted to, I could go straight back in there, straight to the recording booth, and put the tape in your hands.
This kid. Mr. Malik is talking to Asia. Wait, is Mr. Malik Mahmoud's dad?
Very impressed.
Asia takes Kazaam to Mr. Malik. The bullies and Max sneak into the club to steal the tape. Not exactly Mission Impossible. Maybe they should have put a few more bucks into security? The next morning, nobody thought this was a bad idea. Kazaam is singing love songs to Max in bed.
More than I seem, you ought to looking at the dream. In your coffee, I'm the cream.
Kazaam then takes a shower so he doesn't smell like goat's eye farts. Oh boy, CG washcloth. Kazaam scares the hell out of Alice, wearing a disguise as Max's tutor. Kazaam then makes French toast fly. Why is he worried that his mom's gonna see? Didn't they say at the beginning that only Max could see his magic?
I can't show my match to anybody but you.
The two head out, and does Max ever go to school? Kazaam tells Max he got a gig at the studio. Okay, so he got a gig even though he has no band, no songs, and the only reason he was hired was because he was at a club and he's really tall. Is he gonna be Millie or Vanilli? Kazaam's nervous about the show, so Max schools him in rap. The next few minutes are gonna be painful, aren't they?
My name is Max, so get these facts. I'm on my heavy BMX and I make some tracks.
That's whack.
Yep.
So that's the whole story. That's all you gotta tell?
You got to listen to my rap from bell to bell.
Kazaam tells him what he really wants is to be a djinn, which is a genie who has freedom. The next day, Hey, Max finally went to school! And instantly the bullies find him. They want Max to blackmail his father for the tape. Couldn't they just, do another show and record that? Wouldn't that be the cheaper option? Max goes to see his dad getting roughed up by Mr. Malik's henchmen.
You knew the tape was worth $1 million.
I thought the whole thing with piracy was that people don't pay for something. Max is upset because everything bad in this movie is his fault. Kazam's out with Asia. Shaq seems to act with his eyebrows. Max is being a whiny little bitch. He whines so much it teleports him to Kazam's location. He wishes for the tape he stole.
Talk to me, Max. I'm your friend.
I don't need a friend, I need a genie! Now grant my second wish, I order you!
Did they intentionally make Max as unlikable as possible? Kazam gives him the tape and warps him back to school. Max goes with his dad, who yells at him for stealing the tape.
Told you!
Why are they trying to make us feel bad for this kid? This is all his fault. He gives his dad back the tape. Malik sees surveillance of Kazam granting Max's wish. Nick returns the tape, so at least they aren't going to kill him. That night, Kazam's performing at the club. Drink Pepsi! Malik manages to steal Kazam's boombox. Kazam's rapping and Max calls for him. Then hijinks ensue. Malik strangles Max and throws him down an elevator shaft. May I remind you this is a kid's movie? Kazam stops the concert to rescue Max. Get ready for Shaq Fu! He beats up the henchman and turns Malik into a ball. So Max is unconscious again. Oh wait, he's dead? Kazam carries him out of the building to hide the body. Kazam then grants his own wish and brings Max back to life. In doing so, it looks like Kazam is turning into an Ifrit. Kazam now can grant the other wish to give Max's father a second chance. Oh, so he's free and now a djinn. That's not a djinn, this is a djinn. What the hell is going on here? Just then Travis rescues Max from the burning building. He then takes him to his mom. Nick goes to apologize to Max and Alice.
Is there Nick Mateo here?
That'd be me. Would you just give me a minute?
Yeah, I don't think that'd work. I think that would get you tased. So, off to jail he goes. Max wants Travis to come home with them, but shouldn't he stay to put out the fire?
I could sure use a nice hot cup of chocolate.
Oh, sure. Just drink this hot chocolate you found on top of this sewer. Kazam walks off with Asia, who's already bossing him around.
Get real, you're getting a job.
A job?
I thought he wanted freedom. The movie ends with a smiling Max. I sure hope his parents used some of the money from this movie to pay for braces. The movie was shot mostly in New York and Los Angeles during the spring and summer of 1995 on a budget of about $20 million. At 7'1", 325 pounds, Shaquille O'Neal, or Shaq, was one of the biggest and heaviest basketball players of all time. Because of his size and personality, Shaq started popping up in places outside of basketball. In the early 90s, Shaq had a meeting with Delphine Studios, who wanted to use his likeness in a basketball game. He was a huge fan of Mortal Kombat and convinced them to make a Shaq-themed fighting game instead. So Shaq Fu was born, which ended up being considered one of the worst video games of all time. I personally think that's nonsense. While it's not a particularly good game, there are plenty of games out there that are far worse. Even though Game Trailers and Nintendo Power put it in their top 10 worst games of all time lists, it's gone on to be a sorta cult video game classic. There was even a sequel, Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn, in 2018. In 1994, Shaq had a part in the basketball drama Blue Chips. Seeing the potential to make him a movie star, he was offered the role in Kazaam. The movie opened on July 19th, 1996 in 8th place. It grossed almost $18.9 million. While a lot of people criticize Shaq for doing this movie, he doesn't regret it. In a 2012 interview, he said, "I was a medium-level juvenile delinquent from Newark who always dreamed about doing a movie. Someone said, 'Hey, here's $7 million. Come in and do this genie movie.' What am I going to say no? So I did it." He was 23 at the time, and was offered more than most of us will see in a lifetime to do this. I'd say yes too, but I'm not a 7-foot-tall basketball player. Shaq followed this up with Good Burger as himself, and the DC superhero film Steel, which also flopped. He still acts, but mostly in supporting roles, cameos, or just as himself. I joked in the beginning of the video about Shazam. For the longest time, this movie was part of a false memory phenomenon, or The Mandela Effect. Numerous people mix this movie up with a movie that doesn't exist called Shazam, starring Sinbad as a genie. It started in 2009, when someone asked this question on Yahoo Answers. Do you remember that Sinbad movie where he played a genie? It later spilled over to Reddit, where hundreds of users swore that it existed. They even went right to Sinbad on Twitter to ask him, and he kindly joked about it. Later in 2017, College Humor did a short for April Fools, where they shot some VHS footage of the Shazam movie starring Sinbad. It's surmised the people who mixed this up saw Sinbad wearing a genie costume in 1994, where he hosted a broadcast of Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. Paul Michael Glaser directed films like Band of the Hand and The Running Man before Kazaam. Kazaam was such a flop, he never directed another film. He moved to directing TV shows like Las Vegas and The Agency, as well as producing TV shows like Shark Tank. He's probably best known as Detective Dave Starsky in the cop drama Starsky and Hutch. Kazaam is a silly movie. You've got a rappin genie trying to deal with an unlikable kid mixed with some forced family drama. It's a movie that's supposed to be for kids, but really, it's pretty dark if you break it down. It goes from goofy, awkward genie to kid finding out he may be responsible for his long-lost dad getting murdered. I know they try to make Max as this lovable juvenile scamp, but he's just awful. Pretty much every problem in the film is because of him. Then in the end, he's somehow seen as the hero? He makes peace with his father, as well as his stepdad Travis, but I'm sure he'll wreck it in a week, getting more detentions and disappointing his poor mother again. Alright, maybe I'm being too hard on the kid.
Wait, what about me?
Nah. Kazaam has its heart in the right place, and while Shaq's acting isn't the best, he's definitely likable, which helps to forgive some of the not-so-great moments like this. Yes, I goofed on the movie, but I'll tell you what, I'd rather sit through a marathon of this than the Aladdin remake.
Tell me, you booked in? You just come here to scare the hell out of us.
Pasha un jato kas bigara.